Hi, today we're going to talk about the sacral chakra and do a short, easy sequence relating to opening the sacral chakra through some yoga asanas or yoga poses. So the sacral chakra is located just a few fingers below your belly button in your navel area, and it's represented by the element of water. Now the sacral chakra is our sacred emotional center, our freedom, our inner child, our creativity and sensuality. It's all of that bursting energy that comes out that just makes us be able to create and do things and, feel our inner child come out and play. So it's represented by the color of orange. So if you could just imagine an orange energetic wheel spinning around and glowing a beautiful, beautiful hue throughout your body as you're practicing today's yoga sequence. So let's get started by finding our alignment in our spine up through the back of our neck, gently tipping our chin towards our chest, rolling our shoulders back and maybe closing our eyes. Hands can land where they may, whether it's on your knees, your thighs, maybe they're up for receiving. And let's start to breathe, cultivating that breath that you'll use to carry you through today's practice. Gently breathing in through the nose, filling up your belly, and gently exhaling through the nose, feeling all of that stagnant energy leave your body. Starting to come into your space on the mat. Maybe noticing any sensations or tensions that you're holding, not doing anything, but just acknowledging them, taking note. Starting to let your mind empty out any thoughts landing on a cloud and floating away into the sky. It's a nice time to set an intention, an affirmation, or anything that you're holding space for today. And if you don't have anything specific, maybe just visualize your inner child running, playing, singing and dancing under the sunshine. Your feet bare on the grass. Skies are blue. Creativity is bursting all around you. And we'll be here for just a few more breaths. Gently start to open your eyes, lifting your chin. Again, finding your alignment, and maybe start to roll your shoulders forward just to begin to loosen them up. And then back. Maybe taking a few shrugs up and down, shoulders towards ears, and then letting them fall down your back. Dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And rolling through neck and head to the chest and left shoulder. Rolling through again, maybe taking a few neck rolls. And then reversing. And finding stillness. So together we'll take 3 arm raises up. On an inhale, send them straight up to the sky, strong arms, and let them rain down. Or return any way that you would like. Maybe it's palms together down through heart center. And one more. Inhale. And release. Starting to roll those shoulders out a little bit, finding that creative movement. And finding stillness, sending your right arm out straight in front of you, allowing it to land at about shoulder height. And with your left arm, wrapping your elbow around and hooking it under your right arm and staying right here, or maybe starting to interlace the palms of your hands together, or maybe they just rest outside of each other. And release. Sending your left arm out, right arm hooks, and again, finding your sweet spot, how you would like your hands to land. And release. Finding your alignment, shoulders rolled back, navel's pulled in, really grounding down through your tail into the mat. On an inhale, sending your arms up. And release, right arm behind right hip, and sending that left arm up and over the side body. Nice side body stretch, opening the heart to the sky and gently gazing under. And on an inhale, right arm meets the left. Exhale, left hand lands behind left hip. Right arm up and over the side body. And an inhale brings that left arm back up and hands down through heart center. Let's find a little intuitive movement. Maybe it's rolling from right to left, starting to really open up through that center abdomen area, ribs, obliques, and reversing. And maybe finding a few seated cat-cows. So on an inhale, sending your chest to the sky, chin up. And exhale, navel comes in, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, chest opens up, chin to sky. And exhale, cat pose. And one more time, inhale into your cow. And exhale, releases into cat. And finding stillness and center, we'll start to roll over and meet in child's pose. So always an option to use a block here. Sending your knees out to the edge of your mat, big toes together, navel's pulled in, and either sending your tail down towards your heels or placing that block between your legs and sitting back on it. Whatever works for you in this position. Sending your arms out long in front of you, fingers spread, forehead to the mat, and allowing your shoulders to really relax down and sending energy out through your tail towards your mat or towards your heels while also sending it out through your fingertips. So a very dynamic pose here, sending energy in both directions. And if you're so inclined, maybe massaging your forehead on the mat, opening your third eye, and starting to anchor down into that breath that you're going to use to carry you through today's practice. And one more breath here. And on an inhale, starting to ground down through the palms of your hands, sending your belly out and down to your mat. So really bringing your elbows into the top of your ribs, shoulders under your elbows, allowing your head to rest on the mat. Shoulders are pulled back, glutes are relaxed, lower body's grounding down, everything's heavy. And on an inhale, rising up, Sphinx pose. And on an exhale, release. Inhale, rises up. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release. Starting to move your arms out. Elbows are still bent, still at shoulder height. Into goalpost arms, allowing your forearms to rest on the mat. And starting to inch a bended knee. We'll start with the right side. Bend your leg and start to inch your knee up towards that bended elbow. So you're reaching your knee towards your elbow and taking a cheek to the mat for frog pose. Really feeling those hips open up. And we'll take one more breath here. And start to send that right leg back down to meet the left leg. And left bended knee comes up to start meeting the right elbow. Again, starting to open your hip flexors. And one more breath. And start to inch that left leg back down to meet the right leg. Hands come back in towards your face, sliding down the mat and using your palms and strong arms to meet in tabletop. So shoulders are over your wrists, hips are over your knees, navel's pulled in, spine and neck elongated. On an inhale, dropping your belly, chin to the sky. Cow pose. On an exhale, navel pulls into the spine, chin tucks to the chest, tailbones tucked in, pushing that mat away. Cat pose. Inhale, drops the belly, raises the chin. And exhale, cow. Taking 3 more rounds, maybe really start to exaggerate your cat and cow pose. Finding that little intuitive movement, that creativity that lives within. Playing, opening up your inner child. And we'll meet back, finding our alignment in tabletop. Maybe pushing back a little bit and forward. Still finding a little intuitive movement in any direction that you would like. And we'll meet back in tabletop. Okay, finding your alignment in tabletop, really rooting down through the palms of your hands, specifically the L's, your pointer finger and your thumb. Start to curl your toe, pulling that navel into your spine and sending your tailbone to the sky for downward facing dog. And start to pedal out your heels towards the mat, allowing your head to hang heavy between your arms. Maybe rising up on your toes on an inhale, sinking back into your heels for an exhale. And we'll find stillness for a few breaths. And on your next inhale, start to send that right leg back, foot's flexed, stamping the back wall, and exhaling through to high lunge. So in high lunge, we want to align our knee over our ankle or just slightly behind, really grounding down through the sole of the foot and sending energy out through that back leg and down through the heel as it reaches towards the mat, opening our chest. And dropping that back leg, planting the top of the foot on the mat, and starting to hinge back, gently straightening that right leg out. So we're not going to straighten it all the way out, leaving a micro bend in the knee, or just coming back as far as you can comfortably do so while finding your edge. Flexing that front foot and maybe using a block or two to bring the floor up a little bit closer, and you can adjust the height of your blocks. So finding your sweet spot for half monkey pose. Chest is open up, chin's tilted up towards the sky, just a little bit. Maybe sinking all the way back, allowing your bottom to rest on your heel if that's available. And if you took this modified version, starting to hinge up and allowing your foot to return to the mat. And on an inhale, sending your right leg back to meet your left leg, downward facing dog. Finding stillness for a few breaths or pedaling your feet out. Whatever your body needs in this moment. And on an inhale, sending that left leg back, foot's flexed. Exhale, high lunge. Grounding down through that sole of that front foot and dropping your right leg. Start to gently straighten that right leg as you left leg as you flex that left foot. Half monkey. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg. And if it's available, sinking your bottom down towards your heel. Really feeling the stretch in the whole back, that quadricep, the calf. And start to return back up to that high lunge, downward facing dog. And inhale, either step, hop, or jump to the front of your mat for a heavy forward fold. Either straightening the legs with a micro bend in the knees, or allowing them to be generously bent, pulling that navel in towards your spine, and feeling all of that release out of your shoulders, your neck, your head. Tailbone to the sky, gravity taking over, hanging heavy. And inhale, halfway lift. Nice flat back. Gazing down at the floor or the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And on an inhale, one vertebrae at a time, heavy hang, start to roll up. Sending those shoulders back, navels in, tailbones tucked, arms to the sky. Energetically sending those fingers up and out. And when you're ready, on an inhale, start to send your right leg back, planting your foot, the sole of your foot, at a 45-degree angle as we set up for warrior one. Really grounding down through the outside of that back foot and allowing your knee to align with your ankle or just slightly behind. Everything's pulled in tight, and sending your arms to the sky for warrior one. Maybe finding a little flow back and forth, little gentle back bend. And finding stillness and center. Aligning your back foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat. Energetically pulling your thigh back, knees still aligned over your ankle, and sending your strong arms out to a T. Warrior two. And when you're ready, sending that right arm down your back leg, left arm comes up over the body. Reverse your warrior. And warrior two. And reverse your warrior. And warrior two. Flipping that front palm, send it down to the inside of your left thigh and send your right arm up and over the side body, gently opening your chest to the sky and maybe gazing up under that arm. Side angle. And on an inhale, rising up, warrior two. And reverse your warrior. And warrior two. Inhale, cartwheeling your hands down to frame your left foot, sending it back, downward facing dog. Finding a few breaths in stillness, maybe sending your tailbone to the sky just a little higher. Maybe allowing that head to hang heavy just a little more, a little deeper. Inhale, sending that right foot back. Exhale, flowing through. High lunge for just a pause as we start to rotate that back foot, 45-degree angle, rise up, warrior one. Again, your inner thighs energetically pulled back, knees over your ankle or slightly behind, grounding down through the outside of your back foot. And maybe finding a little flow back and forth. Or maybe not, maybe hanging out in stillness. And coming back to center, aligning your back foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat. And fixing my shirt. Warrior two. Again, energetically pulling that thigh in. Tailbones tucked, navels in, strong arms out to a T. And reverse your warrior, sending that left arm down your back leg. Right arm comes up over the side body. And warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And warrior two. Rotating that front palm, sending that arm down the inside of your right leg. Left arm comes up and over the side body. Gently opening your chest to the sky. Maybe gazing under that extended arm. And inhale, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And warrior two. Cartwheel in your hands down to frame that right foot, sending it back, downward facing dog. And when you're ready, start to bend your knees and send them to the mat, finding yourself in tabletop position. From here, we're going to push back into child's pose for a few breaths. Realigning with that inhale and exhale, in through the nose, out through the nose. And when you're ready, starting to ground down through the palms of your hands, sending your tailbone to the sky, downward facing dog. And on your next breath, step, hop, or skip to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, one vertebrae at a time, sending those arms up, root to rise. Palms energetically coming together, down through heart center, and release, mountain pose. And staying right here or finding the long edge of your mat, start to send your toes out at a 45-degree angle. Ankles are coming in. Find an alignment. Maybe bringing your heels in just a little more so your knees can align over your ankles, and sending your arms up to the sky for star pose. Open and ready to receive creativity, sensuality, freedom, all those emotions flowing to you, happy, positive emotions. Inhale to fill up. Exhale, sinking into goddess pose. Inhale, fill up. Star. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, goddess. One more time, sending those fingertips to the stars and releasing into goddess and coming back to center, starting to find a little alignment here in your feet. Maybe sending your right toes out to the side of your mat or the front of your mat. And start to find a little flow. So you'll have to adjust your feet here. We just want to get our creativity flowing through all four limbs, up through our torso. And maybe finding a few swirls all the way around. Just a beautiful little dance. And maybe reversing. And coming back to center. And folding over, sweeping your fingers on the mat and sending them back to the sky. And down. And back to the sky. And one more time down. Back to the sky, allowing your arms to come out to a T. And maybe taking some big circles forward. And then back, reverse them. And we'll find stillness, palms to heart center. Starting to inch your feet in just a little bit and just sinking down into that yogi squat to help us return to the mat. Meeting with our bottoms, sending our feet out to the edge of the mat, top of the mat. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, starting to roll back, bringing those knees into a chest for a little hug. Maybe some little gentle circles, or not, finding stillness, or maybe rock your back, your lower back, back and forth for a little lower back massage. Bringing those knees into the chest for a little squeeze. And flex your feet and just gently start to send one sole up at a time. And returning to center, sending them both up and then back down. And then knees into the chest for a little squeeze. Maybe a little massage back and forth. And when you're ready, knees stacked, start to send them over to the right side. Shoulders are melted into the mat, arms out to a T. Maybe gently closing your eyes and gazing over your left fingertips. Ensuring your shoulders are melted into the mat. If they're starting to rise, maybe placing a block under your right knee or even between your knees. Or send your legs a little bit, inch them down a little bit towards the top of your mat until you can feel those shoulders melting. So we don't want our left shoulder to start to rise up. If so, we know we have too much of a bend here and we're reaching too close to the floor. Supine twist. And on inhale, starting to bring those knees back up through center and sending them over to the left side. Again, taking your block with you or just allowing gravity to take over and letting them fall where they may, gazing over your right fingertips. And inhaling your knees back up through center. Flexing your feet, starting to send them to this, just up. Knees are still bent, and allowing your hands to come up and maybe grabbing the outside of your feet for a little happy baby. Sending your knees towards your armpit and finding stillness here, or maybe rocking back and forth. And starting to think about our final resting pose in Shavasana. Either taking a traditional corpse pose or maybe bringing the soles of your feet together, allowing them to fall to the mat and allowing your knees to hang out to either side. Whether you take this reclined butterfly or traditional Shavasana, gently rolling your shoulders under your back just a little bit. And allow your hands to rest next to your side, palms up for receiving or down for grounding. And start to gently allow your face to soften, your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your cheekbones, the creases around your neck, your jaw, allowing any distracting thoughts to land on that cloud and float away off into the horizon. And we'll take a few breaths here together. Always the option to hang out in Shavasana for as long as you would like. One of the most important poses for grounding, recentering, and feeling emotionally secure. Start to invite a little movement back into your fingers, your toes, your wrist or your ankles. And when you're ready, rolling over to your favorite side and fetal position. Grounding down through the palm of your hand, start to return up to a seated. Take your time getting here. No hurry. And we'll meet an easy seat. And together, we'll take one more breath to seal off our practice. Inhale, arms up. Palms together, come down through heart center. The light and love in me honors the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this short practice with me. Come back to it anytime you just feel like you need a little body movement, a little flow. And anytime you start to think about your sacral chakra and if it's blocked or your creativity or your sensuality or inner child is screaming to get out, click back on and we'll meet again. Thank you.